Welcome back to AthsTV. I'm Cameron Luke. Matt Lynch is here with me. Lynch, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, no, good. It's good to be down here for another one of these.
We're getting some results and feedback from our predictions and continuing to tell us to stop doing predictions, because that's where we're going to start. This Coles Summer Series has been outstanding. We're to go back a couple of weeks to the Sydney Track Classic, and for those eagle eyes who are great on social media, they remember that we predicted, and I'll put my hand up and admit that I predicted Stu McSwain to win the men's 5,000 metre national championship and Sinead Diver to win the women's, to which their coach, Nick Beddoe, said, don't be so sure about that. Should have probably listened to the coach, because neither were able to get the job done on what was a cracking night of athletics. We might start with the men. Of course, Stu McSwain came in hot form, but Jordan Guzman was outstanding.
Yeah, just too strong over those later stages. After the pace dropped off, Guzman just sat right behind Stewie and made him do all the work. And I think just that international travel, all those awesome races that Stewie did overseas was just too much for him. And there's Guzman, he's got the national title. Young
fella, obviously a huge career ahead of him. How much is it, like, when you beat a Stu McSwain who came in such red-hot form, how much does it help your confidence levels and your belief in you're doing the right thing?
Well, he's just moved over to a new training squad over in Boulder. It's a 10-man elite squad. And I think that's just a replication of just how good he's going. And it would just be a reassurance that the move was the correct thing to do. He didn't get the qualifier for Doha, but he's now in that front seat where literally a million people could do the qualifier, but there's a spot saved for him, and he's just got to go and run it fast.
I wish Stu McSwain, who had an outstanding 3 weeks internationally before coming back, and all credit to Jordan on the way he was able to run, but Stu now freshens up for the World Cross Countries in a couple of weeks, so it probably won't do a great deal of harm to Stu McSwain. And you see the arm sleeves, you see the swag. I don't think that's going anywhere.
No, well, let's see if he brings those arms, maybe a special set of arm sleeves out for World Cross, but he's already got that 1,500 qualifier, and I don't doubt he'll get the 5K later.
And as we have a look at the women's as well, Sinead Diver went in, but Melissa Duncan was outstanding. And same kind of result, I guess. Sinead came in, had a great year last year, came in pretty good form, but the way Melissa Duncan set this race up was brilliant.
As you can see, just those teardrop flags down the home straight, this was probably the worst conditions of the day. This was about 2 hours before the men's 5K. Wind just non-stop. There was actually a plus 6.9, and that's with the wind gauge turned around. So they're running into a minus 6.9 down that home straight. They were taking turns, taking the pace, taking the lead, but I think just too much work for Sinead at the front, and Mel just took it over and took the win.
Big shout out to Paige Campbell. Smashed a great deal of time off her personal best. In fact, ran second. We talk about Sinead, who ran third, but Paige Campbell was outstanding.
Yeah, and we'll see all three of those girls at the World Cross Country Championship. So I reckon that's just going to be an awesome team. The team medal for both the boys and the girls, we've got a chance.
In athletics or any individual sport, you aim for gold, silver and bronze, and that's, of course, where it sits. But when you have a breakout performance by smashing your PB by 38 seconds, you must be talking a little bit earlier about Jordan Guzman and believing in what he's doing. 38-second PB must be, for Paige Campbell, something to continue to solidify that she's on the right track.
Yeah, and it's just those, some people are just late bloomers. They might always make those, well, Sinead Diver's the perfect example, and Paige Campbell obviously would be looking at that going, okay, well, I'm not 40 yet, but, I can start stepping up through those leagues, and every time you have a better race and a better run, she just ran an awesome steeplechase over the weekend. I think that's just a great form for her.
Now, the national 1,500 metre race is still a couple of weeks ago. We'll talk about that over the next couple, but Ryan Gregson just continues his dominance when it comes to 1,500 metres on the track, on home soil, and in Sydney a couple of weeks ago, it was no different. He just continues to do this year in, year out.
He just can't lose at Sydney Track Classic. You would say he's from Wollongong, but it's a home track classic. They won't have a Wollongong Track Classic, but Rory Hunter really pushing.
I thought he had him for a split second here.
There was he would have had just a sniff of it at the end, but great running. Rory was third at the Commonwealth Games trials. He was probably just disappointed he didn't get a start at the Commonwealth Games, but once Gregson's in front, he's hard to come home from over the top of.
Now, and of course, the 400 metres. And it has been an interesting event, 400 metres and 400 metre hurdles. I think two of the most intriguing events getting around right now. But if you look back a couple of weeks ago as well, and Anneliese Rubie-Renshaw was outstanding again.
Just way too strong over those later stages. Benderia boy on the outside. We always know she comes home strong. And if you look at those fluoro socks in lane one, that's Ellie Beer. She's only 16.
Yes.
She made the Com Games trials final at 15, and she's just stepping up. Gold Coast girl. They use the hashtag "We're here for the beer," and she's got a lot of support. She'll be featuring in a few of our track classics later on this year.
And of course, the winner spoke about after the Commonwealth Games last year working on her top end speed. So she's been focusing earlier in the summer on the shorter events, and it seems to have paid some dividends there.
Yeah, well, she ran the 200 down in Canberra. I think at the ACT Champs, she was running close to her PB, and it showed there. Now she's got the speed, she's got the strength. It all should come together, and hopefully a great 4x4 for all the girls as well.
Now, obviously, in outdoor sport, we have to take the weather into account, and sometimes you get lucky, other times you don't. This rain just continues to follow around the Coles Summer Series, doesn't it?
I did check the weather before we go to Perth tomorrow.
Yeah, what have we got?
It looks. It
hasn't rained in Perth since 2001, so it'd be stiff.
We've brought the Track Classic over there, so there's a bit of rain for them. But I was looking at the Queensland Track Classic as well, and I think last year it was pretty bad weather. There was a lot of rain, a lot of wind, but fingers crossed we have some sunshine. Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about heading to Perth next on AthsTV. And you know what? Stuff it. We're going to continue to do predictions even if we continue to get them wrong.